Aries, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to be here with you always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at the energy surrounding you, your life, what you're navigating over the next 2 weeks or so via the tarot, astrology, any channeled messages that come through. I'll also incorporate some Ayurvedic or holistic wellness practices that we can really help support and enliven our optimal functioning mind, body, and soul. So let's get into it. We're in the midst of Leo season. We have a lot of planets in retrograde right now. And Chiron has just moved into retrograde as well. Chiron is the wound healer. It helps us evolve. It helps us kind of overcome those challenges that maybe we wouldn't naturally, our base instinct as humans is to be comfortable, right? It's nice to feel safe and secure in our surroundings, in our day-to-day functioning. But that's been a little bit of a challenge lately, especially with this recent full moon in Aquarius. It brought up a lot. It highlighted a lot. There was a lot of emotions, a lot of stuff that came with it. And being in Leo season, it is this energy of connecting those difficulties with our empowerment. Really making sure that we are choosing things that honor and support self first. And this is specifically highlighted with both Saturn and Neptune in Aries right now, because it gives us an opportunity to really slow down, to take a beat, to make sure that we're not pushing through things too quickly and missing out on the lessons or missing out on what's actually being communicated in a dynamic. That's a little frustrating. It's been a little hard for the Mars energy. But there are a lot of places of support. That support looks like slowing down, like I was talking about, getting connected with self, really taking inventory of what is happening in the day-to-day and making sure that you're taking time to process through it. How does this make me feel? How does this affect me? Is this something I really want to engage with moving forward, or do I need to make adjustments so I'm better honoring self? Whether you're feeling depleted with time, money, energy, resources, however that's manifesting, those things are being highlighted so we can make changes that honor self that much more. And it's not always the easiest thing to do, because we want to give people, situations, the benefit of the doubt. I'm not a proponent of just like cutting things off and running away. I don't think that's good either. Right? But like, we also want to make sure we're not overstaying our welcome, with relationships or even just dynamics, certain patterns, the way that we show up with others or even within ourselves, right? And partnership is definitely going to be front focus this week because Venus is going into Libra, and that is all about relationships. So I feel like there is all the stuff that's happening, all that we're kind of seeing about dynamics, it's going to start playing out once Venus makes that transit. So that's also why I like to start the readings off with an energy cleansing, just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out places where we might be coming into some blocks or limitations. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well, Aries, especially if you do have something on your heart or mind that you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It really is a great way to personalize these collective readings. You can also totally skip ahead if the blessing is not your vibe. No worries. You'll still receive all the good vibes, I promise. And I list the chapters down below is why I said that. So I know not everyone loves the blessing. So I also offer a variety of healing wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're looking for more of a rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, your body, your soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are aligned in self, when we're feeling strong, confident, powerful, that's really where we're tapping into our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance. And I would love to help support you in that in any way possible, Aries. Excuse me, tripping over my language a lot this morning. Apparently Mercury is not out of retrograde for me quite yet. But yeah, I would love to support. I would love to connect. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. I'm working on my website right now, and until it's up and running, just shoot me an email and I would love to connect. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being, so we may see and understand the messages clearly,
Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love.
All right, Aries, I was hearing you're cracking the case. Like, I feel like you're finally figuring something out that's left you in a lot of wondering, or a situation, a dynamic where there's not been like there's been missing pieces, things that you don't quite understand. It's just not adding up. It's just not making sense. And it looks like some things are coming to light this week. It feels good. It feels happy. It feels like there is some release that comes with it as well. You're in a space of reclaiming your power is what it looks like. And I think that, like, whatever this disconnect has been, whatever you really struggled to kind of understand or has not been clear to you, this clarity, it's basically like you're at a point, whether you've already said this or not, but I'm seeing you at this place where you're like, okay, I want answers. And maybe you're not getting them directly from the source. Perhaps you've tried to ask someone for clarity and it's just not happening. And it looks like, or it feels like you have to do some of your own digging and hunting. And perhaps you've already done that, because there is this sense of relief that's coming over you this week that I'm picking up. It's realizations, it's clarity that is allowing you to reclaim your power. Or it's maybe even highlighting places where you've released or let go of your power or given it away to someone, something else. And now it's this reality, like, I'm not really on board with that, or that's not really what I think, what I feel, etc. Or like, maybe I have my own thoughts that I want to contribute to this that also need to be like honored, heard, and respected. And so it's changing the dynamics. It's changing the playing field. The Seeker, very interesting. The Seeker pops out as your overarching energy. So that really aligns with that message of seeking out certain information. Because what I find very interesting about this card, what I'm drawn to, is just the way the hands are positioned. It does feel a little bit like a ball and chain type energy, as if someone's hands are cuffed, or they feel as though they're chained to something that they're really trying to work out within themselves, within their environment. Why does it keep hitting this proverbial brick wall? That type of thing. And it does look like it might be a little bit of a messy investigation. Everyone's situation is going to be different. I'm not here to fearmonger. Please take it with a grain of salt if it doesn't resonate. Investigation, finding out information can be very simple, very basic, and it doesn't have to be like uncovering, some true crime or something along those lines, right? Okay, so the underworld. Well, this really, again, highlights, symbolizes the places that we have to do some shadow work, or that you've been challenged in a way where it is unearthing things that you do have to sort out within yourself. I'm not necessarily seeing you shy away from this though, Aries. If anything, I feel like you've been embracing it and you've been handling it and you've been overcoming things that have been difficult, a little humbling. Not that you're airing your dirty laundry to everyone or whatever, but I do feel like it's made you struggle in self a little bit. And this makes a lot of sense, like I was talking about earlier with both Neptune and Saturn in retrograde in Aries. It does forces us to iron out kinks within self, the things that are really getting in the way. And I feel like the things that are being highlighted, yes, some of that is within self, what you think, what you feel, what you believe, but you're also kind of taking this step to establish boundaries with someone or something that is perpetuating some of this stuff that really isn't working anymore, or whatever you're kind of like trying to figure out, wherever that disconnect is coming into play. I feel like you're setting boundaries that feel a little bit difficult to do. Like, maybe it's not what you want to do is a good way to say it. Maybe you have to do it with someone that's close to you, that it's important to you, that you never really thought you would have to do that with. But at the same time, it's something that does feel necessary, because there's a lot of things that are being uprooted for you right now in this cycle, in this life cycle that you're a part of, or going through, I should say. I mean, and that's a thing. Maybe that's a thing. It's like you are a part of someone or some things. Like, there's a lot of like karmic shit being worked out. Excuse my language, but that's what it feels like. It feels like things that are being dug up that either haven't been addressed for a long time, they haven't been dealt with. Maybe it's just ancestral patterning, i.e. the things that we carry from parents, grandparents, family imposes a lot on us, right? And we don't always recognize how those belief systems can affect us as adults. It takes time, and really it takes a lot of situations that are a little bit messy to kind of hash some of those things out. And it feels like that's what you're in the process of doing. I feel like when I'm looking at this, it's like you don't have all the answers right now. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think that's how it's meant to be at this point in time. Because I feel like it's about you uprooting some of the things, some of the beliefs, the patterns, or the way of interacting, engaging with people that really just aren't authentically in alignment with you. It's not really you as a person, as an individual. And you are really trying to overcome some of these limitations, but maybe not acknowledging higher principles, I'm seeing this higher perspective as you're kind of just taking things at face value and maybe not looking too deep beyond. Not that, again, everything doesn't have to be a conspiracy theory, and that's not what I'm trying to sell at all. I just think that sometimes we give certain people, dynamic situations, hall passes, when maybe we need to look at it. Or, honestly, the way that it's coming through, it's not maybe you need to look at it, but it's like you're going to seek out this information to try to understand, to try to put some type of rationale to what's happening. But at the same time, you're kind of missing certain aspects that I feel like would be really beneficial for you. We'll clarify a little bit more. Let's see how the tarot plays out. It's a little heavy. Honestly, your energy doesn't feel that heavy, but maybe you're I don't know. I think Aries, you're pretty good at compartmentalizing. So perhaps it's not feeling so burdensome or overwhelming. The Seven of Pentacles makes sense. You're not really deciding something about it right now. You haven't really made your decisions. If anything, you're kind of waiting. Again, I feel like the information is really important for you. Perhaps instead of letting it come to you, this is more a time where you're seeking it out, is what I'm hearing. Back to that original channeled message. Perhaps it would do you some good to seek some, get some information to bring in some clarity. You feel like you're more balanced, though, with the star energy. You're more balanced. You're more hopeful. You're not resorting back to certain things that maybe got you once upon a time, or things that feel like they could have taken you off course. And I feel like you're putting a lot of stock into what the future is going to bring. There is a lot of hope. And there's promise on the horizon. Nine of Pentacles in the blocked energy. But something is amiss. That's the one thing I'll say. Just something is amiss. And it's with this higher perspective in the blocked energy. There's just something that you're not seeing. And I don't know if you kind of have to zoom out of a situation, try to take that bird's eye perspective, be a little bit more analytical about what's happening, especially if you are, there's feelings, emotions involved in the dynamic. It might do you a world of good to try to set those aside for a minute and really kind of look at all the dynamics, all the players, what's going on, what's being said, etc., and draw your own conclusions. Because there's something that you are having some really strong boundaries with. Five of Swords. You're protecting your peace. You're protecting your sanity. You're protecting what you are doing for yourself to better self. But I'm really curious as to what this disconnect is. The Tower. That popped up for us in the same spot in our weekly as well. And the Empress. Okay. Let's see who these peeps are to you. We have Ten of Pentacles. Well, we're going from the 9 to the 10 and a 2 of Swords. Okay. Interesting. So it looks like, okay, let me just get a little bit more clarity on this before I start saying too much. I do see progression. I do see a situation moving forward, especially in ways that perhaps you've not allowed it to move forward. Not in a bad way, in a way that you've needed, again, maybe some time and space to kind of sort yourself out, figure yourself out. I want to see who this Empress is to you first, or if this is your energy. Disregard the gender. We all have the masculine and feminine within. So we have Knight of Swords. Someone taking some action. The Justice card. balanced, diplomacy, doing like the right thing. 5 of Swords. Very interesting. How does this affect Aries? Show me how this affects Aries. This Empress energy. It's okay, interesting. I don't know. It's like someone's making it, like, I feel like someone might have encouraged you or told you like this was the best route to take. You took the quote unquote best route and it looks like something's become a little bit more messy. Like it feels like someone's at fault for something and maybe you haven't identified this. I hope I'm not repeating myself because this feels like what I already said, but what I'm getting out of this, and again, this is just clarification, but what I'm getting out of this is it's like I feel like someone is to blame for certain things that are happening, but you're not necessarily identifying it as that person, as that individual. Because the Empress is always, you know, it's a really favorable energy when we're around people that kind of embody this. It is mama love, it's nurture, it's support. If she's in a lower vibration, however, you know, she might use that to kind of as a manipulative tool, right? The upper hand is what I'm hearing, or her position of power and control to kind of dictate how she wants something to go. That's what we're seeing with this Knight of Swords, Justice, 5 of Swords energy. It's very much this thing of like, I'm not putting up with this and now we gotta make certain other plans. I don't know if you're 100% on board with it. It doesn't really feel like that because I feel like whatever is coming out of this person's mouth feels shocking to you, right? Like maybe you didn't, and this is kind of where they reveal themselves a little bit, where like maybe you weren't really even internalizing that this was how it was gonna go, or maybe you gave someone else the reins and like allowed them to make certain choices, certain decisions, and some of their choices are surprising you. You didn't think that they would go down this road, but that's exactly where these boundaries are getting established. Because it also, there's this situation over here that's kind of waiting on your response. And as much as like, maybe there might be, let's look and see if there are some issues here. Because someone's waiting on you, but they're not like sticking around, basically is what it shows. 9 of Pentacles is like, they have their own things going on. So while you're dealing with whatever this is over here, they're kind of managing their own business. But it also looks like they're waiting on you for something. What are they waiting on? So we have the 9 of Wands. You've kind of blocked your energy off from them, a little bit on the defensive. We have the Queen of Cups. This is someone, and maybe there hasn't been a direct conversation like I need space or time, but someone's definitely picking up that energy of you like keeping your distance. And as a result, like I said, like it doesn't look like someone's bothering you in this process. Like if anything, they're giving you the space that you need so you can sort yourself out. And it's actually nice. Like it feels like it's giving you what you need. But then there's also this energy. I just want to clarify if this Empress is kind of being low vibey, because it feels very much like someone in your energy that's kind of trying to push you towards making a certain decision. And I don't think this is a decision you're ready to make. It feels confusing. It feels like it's not your authentic choice. It would feel more like you're doing it because someone else wants you to do it. Okay. So this Empress, that can be Taurus, Libra energy. We have the Chariot is Cancer energy, the Hermit as Virgo energy. This is someone who really like, and the Temperance. This is someone who's having a really hard time dealing with, you know, right now in the astrology, like everyone's kind of going through it in their own way. It is a lot about our spiritual evolution. And it looks like someone's trying to make decisions that, yes, can better everything, but I feel like the way that they're going about it, or the way the approach is, it's very much for their own gain, their own benefit. Like I was talking about, kind of like manipulating the energy to work out in their favor. And I don't think it's a good manipulation, especially with this Tower here. And especially with you kind of being in this position of like, I don't know if I agree with this. But you might go along with it because that's what you've been taught or told to do. That's where that ancestral patterning comes up for you. King of Cups, it's making you really emotional. But interesting, we got our Queen of Cups over here. So it's a partnership, it's a vibe, it's a person, it's a dynamic that you resonate with a lot more.
but you're following someone else's like orders because that's like what you should do. Or maybe you are beholden to them on some level as the Empress. It could be a mother figure. It could be like a boss, you know, someone who does have some type of authority over you, etc. It doesn't have to be a female. You know, it could be someone who's very comfortable, confident in their feminine energy. I'm going to clarify this Tower. Okay, Wheel of Fortune, change is on the horizon. Two of Swords just fell off the table. A decision needing to be made. So a change is happening, or a decision is being made that does feel like it's a little bit difficult. It's painful, it's difficult, it changes the dynamic of something. And again, it looks to me like you're going along with it, and you might not be 100% on board. I don't even know that you're like aware of that though, right? Like you might be going along with it, maybe even subconsciously or in your quieter moments. It's like, is that really the best? But you're not saying anything. You're not giving it a lot of thought, a lot of weight in your life because you don't really want to upset the apple cart. And that's where there might need to be a little more information gathered before you finally settle on something, Aries. So you're not putting yourself in a compromising position. I mean, I'm not 100% certain there's any other way to go about it, right? It almost feels like this thing is going to happen regardless, like this choice is going to be made regardless, and then you're going to see how the pieces fall type vibe. Third eye awakening. Your third eye is awakening, enhancing your intuitive abilities. I feel like you're finally waking up to something that you haven't really been aware of. And I think it is a little bit overwhelming, right? Like there is this value in the energy world, energy medicine, energy healing. Like if we were actually able to perceive everything that was going on energetically, physically, whatever, it would be so overstimulating, so overwhelming. And this feels like this is something that maybe hasn't been within your present awareness. And that's where some of the difficulty is, because it's this acceptance of what is, acceptance of what you haven't realized or acknowledged beforehand. But then it's also choosing to like transmute that energy and do something with it. And it does look like you have some power in your hands. I'm not really sure how much you're going to exercise that, because it does look like there might be something you're shying away from. And maybe this go around, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's okay, right? Maybe it's just to take note, mental note of whatever this is. And when the energy arises, once again, because it will, that's how we heal. That's how we heal our ancestral lineage. That's how we heal our karma, is that when the karma comes up, we transmute it, right? We make different choices. We make choices from a higher perspective, from a higher understanding. And that's what a lot of like Neptune in retrograde is all about. We also have this magic triangle in the astrology that's allowing us to, yes, destroy old patterns, but in a way that we can rebuild from a place of higher evolution, higher consciousness, higher self, right? Not from these base instincts of control, manipulation, selfishness, etc. Yes, that can get us so far, but it only takes us so far. And this looks like you're involved in something that's asking you to have a higher perspective. It might be a little bit challenging. And I'm not here to judge or shame or whatever. Everyone's going to make their choice that fits their situation. And maybe it's hard to go against the grain. Maybe it's difficult, whomever this Empress is to you. Maybe you can't necessarily say no. Maybe you'll lose your job or like whatever, right? So it's this value of knowing what's realistic and what's practical, but making sure that you're still gleaning the wisdom from this experience. Trust your gut. Confirmation. Your body knows the truth. Trust your gut feelings. Make sure to take note of that, Aries, and don't discount yourself. Don't discount yourself and don't invalidate yourself. It's the worst thing you can do. And again, I feel like that goes back to the Seeker card, where it is important for you to gain some knowledge, some information, some validation from outside sources. Maybe even like just confide in someone that's trusted. Is this messed up? You know what I mean? Is this like sometimes we just need that sounding board, and not in a way to stir the pot, because I feel like you're strategically trying not to do that. Intuitive insights, you're receiving powerful insights, follow them 100%. So it's really important. Pay attention to your intuition, even if it does mean you have to like challenge an energy that doesn't feel very comfortable to challenge. I think you can do it in a way that can keep things copacetic for a period of time, especially while you are gathering the necessary information. Like, I don't think you have to throw yourself under the bus. I don't think you have to have a big fight, argument, accusing someone of doing X, Y, and Z, because it's not the energy that like is going to get anyone anywhere. If anything, it's going to kind of shroud the dynamic in that much more illusion and make it that much harder to sift through. This looks like this is stuff that you need to do for yourself first. And then once you have all the information, come back to the table, and so that you actually have things to work with, right? And you can actually kind of have an intelligent, honest conversation, and not one that's just like, you know, people can't be honest. So with that, Godspeed, Aries. I don't know, your energy feels really good. That's what I will say, like even throughout this whole reading, like you feel strong in self, like you don't have to be subservient to something that feels like not right for you. And I think that you can find that courage to like empower yourself to do what you need to do for you. It might feel a little like, ooh, but I feel like you got it. All right. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages here that resonated for you, Aries. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I always love to hear, or just connect, share in a little love, little TLC. It also helps the channel, and I so appreciate all the love and support that comes my way. Please know that I am sending it back to you. I hope that you have a fabulous few weeks, and I will talk to you soon. Love and blessings your way.